Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Nibosi 2321. Let's start out with the wrist check. I'm wearing a Chensky CX8848, and Greg was wearing my U1001 GMT Batman. Grogu said Captain Rex dressed up as a dinosaur for Halloween. Grogu asked him why a dinosaur. He said there was a little confusion. He became a conductor and composer and wrote an opera about the Clone Wars. Princess Leia's favorite part is this rousing chorus he wrote about when Dooku becomes Darth Tyrannus. A couple of weeks ago, she saw him and said, "I love it when you play the Tyrannus chorus, Rex." Alright, let's take a look at the watch. It comes in this box. This box though is really kind of a throwaway. I kept it just for the sake of this review, but it's really thin, just thin cardboard, and has some styrofoam. It's good for shipping it somewhere, but not much use for it. I usually keep boxes just to keep the extra links and stuff like that, but that doesn't really apply for this one. So I will keep this just because I'm going to sell this watch, but if I wasn't going to sell it, I'd probably throw it away. But here it is. I don't review many dress watches on this channel because I don't have very many reasons to dress up. Plus, let's face it, sports watches are just more fun. But when looking at watches to review, this Nibosi caught my eye. The AliExpress ad focused on the thinness of the watch, so I decided to give it a look. This watch is indeed thin, but they use a few tricks to make it look thinner than it actually is. There are 9 different colorways, all coming on a metal mesh bracelet. I chose the gold and black because I thought it was the most attractive of the bunch. The watch is 40 millimeters wide, 45.3 millimeters lug to lug. It's 8.2 millimeters thick, has a 20 millimeter lug width, and weighs 66 grams on this applied mesh bracelet. If you look at the dial, it's a flat black and has a Nibosi name in 1985 on the left. I guess that's when Nibosi was established. I don't know. And as you can see, there are no indices on the watch. Instead, we have these grooves in the watch to represent the 5-minute slices. And there's no other writing, no mention of water resistance. This is a 30-meter watch, so no need to brag about that. Plus, this is a dress watch, and they probably just wanted to leave the dial as uncluttered as possible. And the hands are very thin. And it looks like we have a red tip on the second hand. There is no lume on this watch at all, so there won't be a lume test later. Then we have a date at the 3, and the date does have a gold border, and the date is round. The date, I kind of wish the date was a black background because I think it would blend into the dial better. But then again, the Nibosi is white, so it kind of evens out the Nibosi, so maybe that wasn't such a bad thing after all. And of course they have different colorways, so if they'd have to have a different color for different dial colors, and that just wasn't practical on a $15 watch. The crown is a tiny little thing. When you pop it and adjust it, it doesn't feel too loose, and so I was hoping it doesn't have that cheap old quartz movement jump thing, but look at this. It jumped. So yes, you do have the quartz jump, and so you have to be careful when setting it. And the bad thing is there's no minute markers, so if you go to set it and you miss, you have to wait 5 minutes before you can accurately set it again, which isn't fun. The crystal is just glass and it's flat, does the job. The case is a plated alloy. You're not going to get stainless steel at 15 bucks. And as you can see too, the thinness is kind of deceiving because when they show the watch on the ads, they never show the bottom of it. So it looks like it's as thin as this edge of the case. But as you can see, there's it's almost twice as thick here. So it makes it look like it's only like 4 or 5 millimeters thick when it's really 8. So a little deceiving there. Once again, this is a thin watch, just not as thin as they are trying to imply in the ads. Then the case back is a press-on. You got 30 meters, so you're not going to get a screw down. says stainless steel. Of course, in this case, they mean the case back. Then it says Quartz movement, gives the model number, Nibosi in 1985. The movement itself, I have no clue who made it. I assume it's Chinese made, because if it was Japanese, they would advertise that. And they do not. I didn't bother popping the case back off, because most of these cheap movements, you can't see a model number anyway. Then the bracelet is a mesh bracelet. It's fairly thin. I compared this to that Bernie I got the other day where the mesh bracelet was over twice as thick because it was kind of double layered. This is single. But in this case, the watch is so light, you don't really need a sturdier bracelet. So single is just fine with me on this case because it keeps it light. Then it doesn't have quick release, but it has drilled lugs, so you don't need the quick release. So at least you can get the strap off, bracelet off easily if you want to put it on the strap. This being a dress watch, you might want to get a nice black alligator strap because that's a pretty popular option for dress watches. Then the clasp is this type where it's adjustable. You can move it up and down the bracelet, so you can always get the perfect fit. And it is signed, believe it or not. Nibosi, oops, upside down. Nibosi 1985. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. As you can see, it wears real nice. It's a thin watch, light. This would look good with a black suit. And once again, since it's a mesh bracelet and the clasp is infinitely adjustable, so you can always get the perfect fit. And it looks like I got a good 3/4 of an inch. You could get bigger. So you should probably be able to wear this if you have an 8.5. But yeah, I like it. And we won't be taking a trip to the loom room because there is no loom on this watch. What do I like about this watch? Well, I like the appearance. It's a nice looking watch. I like the thinness of it, even though it's not as thin as the ad implies. I like the fact that it's light. You can hardly tell it's on when you're wearing it. And I like the fact that it has drilled lugs, so you can remove the bracelet easily and put it on a strap. And you don't have to worry about whether or not your strap has quick release. Drilled lugs are very rare on a watch at this price, so it's just kind of nice that they put in the effort. What are my gripes and groans? No loom, a tiny little crown, and plus it's hard to set because you get that minute hand jump, and then there's no minute markers, so if you miss it, you gotta wait a full 5 minutes before you can try again if you want it to be perfectly accurate. Do I recommend this watch? Sure. It's $15. It looks nice. It's nice and thin. Will go with the suit. So sure, if you want a dress watch and you like the looks of it, I don't see any reason why not to get it. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Nibosi 2321, and I will be back with another unboxing. It's going to be a triple unboxing because I checked my mail today, and I'm going to have 2 boxes coming, and I got one yesterday, so I love a triple unboxing. Bye.